Hello, I am your host as always, the Archivist. And I'm gonna do a review on Home. Oh god, this film. Now it's proper. It's proper. I guess that would be the word for it. How it all works is proper. Alright, still see that hole there. I want people to see that hole in my steering wheel. Alright, there. Okay, good. Yeah. Look, yeah, it's a hole in my steering wheel. I think that's where the screw is going or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so this film feels proper. It feels right. It has proper organic numbers to it. It flows properly. Things are not rushed. Things are not skipped. It's like the steps of letting go, you know? It's organically, numerically proper. And the guy that voices him, O, and people just call him that because every time he pops up, no one likes him because he's a bungler. He messes things up. And so every time they meet him, they say, "Oh, it's like just out of frustration." That's why his name is O. Anyway, so that actor that plays him also plays what's his name from Big Bang Theory. Apparently, his alien humanity is better here than it is in him playing a human with disenabled, like he has less connection to the rest of humanity. So, as an alien playing with human concepts, he gets human concepts a lot better here than he does as playing a human trying to act human in Big Bang Theory. So this one's a lot more fun with him. Because in that series, he seems like just so alien and just like, I don't get it. Like, what, you don't get joy? Like, really? In the beginning, like, he's just a jerk. Like, why does anyone want this series? Why is this series popular? Oh, it's for a joke. It's for laughs. And it's like, I don't like it. I don't like smart people being portrayed as, humorless dicks, It's just like, that's not funny. That's not my entertainment. I like it when they outsmart the villain or do something. It proves that it's a form of positive and not mock it because it's a form of negative. It's just have them be funny or something. It's just say, I don't get it. Oh, I'm a person very difficult to get along with. That's funny. No, it's not funny. Anyway, so this is a much better character for him. We see the Bove, as they're called, who are very good at running away. There was a short last year. I didn't understand it. I was with Ken, and it's like, and we saw this thing. I was like, what's the point of this short? Is it a trailer? Is it just supposed to be a standalone? I don't understand. Because it shows these little aliens go from planet to planet to planet looking for a new home. And then they come to Earth and then it ends. It's like, okay. But it doesn't have anything after that. It just says home on it. And it's like, what is that? And then he tells me, it's supposed to be a short trailer is what it is. It's like, oh, okay. Glad that's clarified. And so I kind of been waiting for this to, the ball to finally drop. Like, oh, okay, here's the movie. What's this whole thing supposed to be about? What's supposed to be advertising? So in the actual trailers for the movie between then and now, I was a little bit confused because the character design. There was a bit of a video that was played, talks about mother and child or mother and daughter, but the thing is, I was confused because I didn't know who was playing the mother and who was playing the daughter, because the daughter doesn't really look that young to really be portrayed as the daughter. Like, obviously the child. It's like, I don't know. you know, for all because she looks like she could be in her early 20s or in college. That's what I thought. It's like, well, if she's a daughter, she could be in college. She doesn't look that young to me. I don't know how I could have missed that, but to me, she seemed very, like, early 20s, late teens, something. And she could still be the mother. You know, it could be either or. I didn't really get it. No one really says, I'm the child, I'm the mother. She just says, I'm just going to keep looking for her. Well, who's her? Is she talking about her daughter, or is she talking about her mother? I don't know. Whoever this title character's age is, I don't know. It wasn't really specified. It was just, I'm going to continue looking for said other person. And it's like, okay, whichever person you are. And it talks about how, you know, a little bit about how they get along together, how he acts about certain things. And so I'm still like, kind of curious. Okay, cool. It feels like it has heart to it. So that's good. Then I saw this film, and it was just... that's what it felt like. Just... let me explain. Now, so the Bove come home, and they invade... all in the span of 5 minutes. So they're the 5-minute invader types. They come in, they kidnap all the humans, they set them up apparently in Australia, and put down like new acreage and give them to call it Human Funland or something like that. And so they set everyone in the world, almost 10 billion of us apparently in the outback, in track homes and amusement parks that they have built and assigned for us. Apparently it's very roomy in Australia. And so it says, all the humans have been cleared out. And then O goes home, tries to put up a warming party. No one wants to be invited. He sends out a email invite to the other Bove, or not to Bove, but to his friend. But he is not his friend. He just says, I just call you my friend. And he outright tells him, while everyone else keeps lying their asses off and avoiding him, he actually comes out and says, no, I am not your friend. I don't like you. Do not invite me to your party. And yet somehow O is not really like accepting this as reality or something. And he says, I just sent you a message. He says, you idiot. You didn't just send me a message. You sent everybody a message. Oh, well, you know, having the send all to, you know, group to all, send to everyone and send to just one person, you know, the buttons are right next to each other. It's easy to get mixed up. It's not very efficient. He says, you just send it to every Bove. You send it to everyone in the universe, which means their enemy that they've been running from this entire time, the Gorg, I believe they call it, would know where they're at. And so they are now angry at him, so he's now public enemy number one. He's trying to escape. And during this time, I think his name was Tippy. I think it was his name, Tippy. There's this other long name, I forget what her name was. It's this big complicated name. But anyway, Tippy, I believe her name was, is the last human on the other rest of the Earth. Somehow she was overlooked, and I was kind of curious as to why. It's like they took over and took everybody to Australia. How did they miss her? So that question was kind of lingering in the air for a while, and by a while I mean a good 30 minutes later into the film while. So yeah, that's the one slight thing, is that she wasn't, that part of the story wasn't told for another 30 minutes or so. So they meet up. She shows her initial anger towards the Bove, towards O, and it turns out they kind of need each other. O apparently keeps lying his ass off, and every time he does, he changes green. And so she kind of picks up on this later on when they get to a rest stop, where he tries to ditch her and go to Antarctica in order to get away from everyone. And the reason that's O's plan up until that point was just to get to Australia. So he was trying to ditch her, and during this road trip to Paris in order to find the Tip's mom is the leader or whatever, the group says, well, we need to uninvite him. We just need to turn it off. We just need the password. Well, passwords are passwords. That's the way you can get on, get into the system real easy and, erase the thing. He says his password is not standard. It's like, it's not standard. It's like, what could it possibly be? And he says, well, we'll get the smartest minds and we'll figure it out. Eventually, they'll get it right. So this whole army of smart guys trying to randomly type in different sayings and trying to guess what the freaking password is. So that goes on for a good while of the film. So they said, well, you're his friend. You track him down. So the friend tracks him down. They find him at the way stop. She keeps yelling at him because Bo keeps making mistakes. He keeps making selfish choices. She keeps trying to make deals and try to befriend, not necessarily try to befriend him, but they do try to befriend each other at different times. Because Bo, the alien mindset is just run away, think of yourself, run away. And they don't have family structure, but they do have a community structure, which is common bove and leader. That's it. Leader says, society does. That's it. They don't have family structure. So he was like, and they played it off really well, the structure of, I don't get it. What do you mean, my mom? Like, what is that? Why does this thing mean so damn much to you? And he's like, eventually over the course of their trip together, he begins to kind of hammer it home, to dawn on him that this person means a lot to Tips, and that's really heartwarming to finally see a character. I thought of this concept of a alien race that doesn't have parenting structure to be introduced to a human, parenting structure, and kind of have it dawn on them that this concept of value system, and them understanding it. And they basically come to an understanding that, well, they both want is to belong. And he's kind of getting to understanding her on that front, and in there, he's able to understand her more and more. So when they go to Paris, they have this mad race. They find where his mom is. They turn off the invite, so the aliens do not know where they're at. The Gorgon, or I forget what their name is, but the bad guys of the series, of the movie. They go to Australia. They track them down. Turns out the bad guys somehow found out where they were, and they go to Australia. And then he says, "But wait, if the enemy is here and the last ship's about to leave, goes, I am trying to save you. I'm trying to be your friend." But he said, well, I'm still here to look for my mom, because there is no time to look for your mom. The last ship is leaving now. If I don't save you, it's like I'm trying to save you. How is that wrong? So they have this last little fight about it, and then he takes a minute to actually decide over his emotions of what it is he wants. Eventually decides to go and run away with the rest of his kind. So he goes there, and then he earlier came to the conclusion that what his society thought of humans initially is wrong. That they are not simple and backwards. Apparently they are very, very right in a lot of ways. He comes to this realization that what he thought of them was wrong. And so he confronts the captain again. They have this big argument, and his friend actually comes in and helps him. And then they take command. And he is seen as a hero for saving them, because he got a chip from the enemy and was able to help the big mothership escape by going faster. Anyway, after that, he comes back to befriend her, and it's very nice. Their chemistry between each other, these two characters, are very, very nice. It's very organic. It feels real, And so you see a very passionate, really strongly grounded based friendship. And no, I do not see a romance forming in this. This does not need a romance. This is a buddy film. This is a kid's buddy film. This is a proper buddy films, kids film. It's made proper. I don't normally say that. Personally, every time I see some kids film or young teens film, it feels like it needs a love interest or it needs a better romance than the little crappy romance where nothing is resolved. Quest Hero Girls, Rainbow Rocks. And, this does not feel like it needs it. This is about two people who do not fit in finding kinship with each other. And they help each other. And that feels good. Like Boondock Saints. People say, this is... I told people, I said, this is a buddy film. That's basically what it is. It's between two brothers and one friend. That's what it's about. You have to kind of see through all this other stuff to realize that at its core is what it is. It's a buddy film. Yes, there's a lot of violence. Yes, there's an epic lot of swearing. And yes, there's some smoking. But at its core, it's about heart. It's about friendship. And so we see these characters finally meet up at the end. We feel these things they're in a good place. They come to an understanding. He cares about her. They've got the mom is now back together with the daughter. So the lead character is the daughter, apparently. I come to figure out. And the Bove did not take the daughter away with the mom when they invaded for the first 5 minutes of the film. Was that the cat was on her head, and thus the Bove were not able to see her as a life form. They saw her as a cat, which was on her head. So then they overlooked her and moved on. Yeah, that's how she evaded. And then she stayed in her house for the remainder of the day and put up tons of booby traps. So apparently she's incredibly bright and smart. She's capable of figuring out their advanced technology along with it, because apparently it's idiot-proof, but the captain keeps insisting that it's beyond anyone else's intelligence and incredibly difficult to operate. That's what he keeps saying. So he keeps saying a lot of the same things over and over again to basically hammer it home to everyone else of the Bove that you cannot operate this. You cannot operate this. So everything's good. Heartfelt feelings all around. Proper everything. Then the enemy shows up to destroy the planet. And he's all like, because they're looking for something. Like, how did they know he was here? How did they know he was here? And he's like, oh wait, let me think for just like 2 seconds. Oh wait, it's that thing our captain stole during the backflash that was the story I was telling you about. It must be this thing, because, why else would they know that we're here? Because the message was stopped before they were able to see it. So how do they know to come here? He opens up the thing. It's like, it's an egg. It has to be an egg. Why is that? Oh, because it's oval. It has to be important. Because in the story they told, the captain went for a peace summit with them. The enemy had invited them for a peace summit before anything was able to be said. He freaks out, runs away, bumps into a pedestal. The egg drops into his lap. He takes it with him and runs away. And then that's why the enemy's been chasing him the entire time, because they have what he wants. He has what they want. And so, finally comes to this resolution. Goes out ahead of the ship that's about ready to munch on the planet and hold it up and say, hey, it's me. So a little bit of back and forth thing, a little bit of, try to take notice of him. He's right down there. He's right down there. The enemy puts on the brakes, but the big planet muncher thing is not slowing in time. Cannot escape, and she's running towards him. She's running towards him like, don't die, my friend. And he's all like, well, I can't do anything about that right now. I cannot run away. I can't. There's a big crack right behind me. There's nowhere else to go. So just before the thing drops down on him, he tosses her the egg thing, and then the thing goes. Very sad, very bad. I thought, like, if he lives, it feels like a cop-out. If he dies, that feels proper, because it fits the emotions best. That if his body just says, he just springs back. Because we know very little about their anatomy, so it's like, oh yeah, we could take a brutal punishment easy. That would be a cop-out, and I would hate it. This actually feels better, because it is not something that the writers just wrote in, like, oh, right, he could just, survive it. No, he survived by pure freaking chance, unseen, because the how it's designed or whatever, there's a gap right there. So as it comes down, it missed him barely, and he's okay. That feels a lot better. Him still being alive, okay. Him, by the luck of the draw, or whatever, by sheer luck, is survived that way. That's okay with me. I accept that. That feels good. So then the enemy comes down, and they talk, they return the egg, and he explains to them, oh, it was full of next generation, he was the last one alive, so they really need it. And he explains that the reason they've been acting kind of cranky is because they're sad mad. That's what he says. Because you are sad mad. He explains that to the girl, of his understanding of her temper tantrums at times. And so he says he understands that, so he understands what the alien mindset was. So he goes. So the enemy goes back into their ship, ready to propagate, and live someplace else. The Bove put everyone back, like 2 weeks later or whatever. Puts everyone back, puts the world back the way it was, and they go and live mostly, I think, on the moon and partly on Earth, because no one lives on the moon and they can go and populate it, I guess. So the Bove have the moon, humans have mostly the Earth, and now there's a giant party on Earth, so everyone in the universe is apparently invited, so they show a bunch of spaceships and stuff coming to Earth for Bove's housewarming party. And then what else was there? Yes, they have this party, and that's pretty much about it. And it feels proper. Everything about this film feels proper. The temper tantrums, people's emotions, the alien emotions feel very proper. How an alien mindset like that would react to a human mindset like hers. So it feels proper. It feels like it went through all the proper psychological steps to achieve proper friendship. And at times he has to fail her. Something my friend told us, said something about betrayal from Strange Magic. He says if you're gonna have to fail somebody, you have to fail them. You have to fail them proper. And so O actually did that. He failed. He betrayed her at a point because he was just going to run off to Australia and let the smart guys figure out his password and thus save the day. So he knew that he believed in his people to solve a problem, and he was just going to run away and live in isolation, pretty much. And so in that moment of everything's still going to be okay, I just need to not be killed right now, is understandable, is psychologically sound. It is his moment of, okay, I'm thinking of myself at this point. And so, yeah, so him failing her is proper. It's the right step along this journey of theirs. And the girl feels proper. She doesn't feel stereotypical. I forget where she's from, but they had relocated from some foreign country. She has a bit of an accent. I don't know what country. I didn't quite catch it, because there's a lot going on. So when she tells her the backstory, she only mentions it twice. I think the mom mentions it once, and the girl mentions it once or twice. But the thing is that it tells the... my mind goes blank. It shows that people. Anyway, so it shows that this girl is coming to a new place, not just a new town or whatever. She's coming from from a country to a new country, to America. And so she says, "Oh, I feel very out of water." So this is more of a bit more of a social thing, bit more and more than usual. So that's why she says, "I don't fit in," and everything else. We don't get too into the life a day of We don't see a backflash of Life in a Day of her at school, which is nice. We don't need to go there. We all know what social isolation and outcasting is. Trust me, I know. So we didn't need to go there, so that was nice. And, what was there? So she doesn't stick to any stereotypes. She's just a kid looking for her mother. That's it. That's all we need. That's her character. And that's it. The acting is superb in this. Is it too kidsy? No. Does danger feel real? Pretty good. Technology does feel goofy sci-fi. They have super technology, so it might run off slushies. Who knows? Doc Brown was able to get the 2.0 flux capacitor DeLorean to run off of trash and a soda and a soda can. So who's to really say? So yeah, I recommend this film for kids and adults. The goofy kidsiness, heartfelt stuff the kids will understand. The feelings and emotions the adults will also still understand, and they might get a kick a bit more out of the kidsy stuff. There isn't too much adult stuff, they have to put in for the adults, like the blatantly obvious sexual innuendos that they have to put in. Like Pirates of the Caribbean, again, it's like, really? Really? Ugh, it's like, it feels distracting, because it's like, this is for the adults, this is for the adults, this is for the adults. It's like, yes, we get it. Jeez, stop the film, why don't you? Night at the museum. Anyway, so this doesn't feel nothing feels forced. Everything feels proper, organic, and it feels good all around for everybody. That's what it feels like. It feels proper. So I highly recommend this for anybody. And, jeez. Does it feel like it needs a sequel? No. It feels complete as is. Nothing feels lacking. No sequels, no boyfriends, no love interests. It's just a feel-all buddy film. And that's the end of my review. So, I didn't cover everything. Trust me, I skipped over a lot of development. The development here between the friends is their journey together is really good. So trust me, even after seeing this review, you're still going to get a lot out of this film. Even though I spoiled the hell out of it, there's still a lot to be seen. The journey between these two is really, really good. Yeah, what else? I believe I've covered everything. So that's it. So take care, and as always, see you on the other side of the screen. Take care. Bye.